So, what if you poured 30 years of your life into one single job, just quietly doing the right thing day in and day out? Well, today we're diving into this incredible story that shows exactly what that kind of faithfulness can lead to. It's pretty amazing. It's a real question for our time, isn't it? I mean, in a world that's all about jumping to the next big thing, does that steady, quiet dedication still count for something? Does it still have its reward?
Well, sometimes the best answer to a huge, modern question comes from a simple, timeless story. So let's head over to a small town in Uganda and meet a man named Semamanda.
Okay, so our story kicks off in this small town, and it's all about a really humble man who gave his entire working life to just one job at one company.
For 30 years, just let that sink in for a second, 3 whole decades, Samanda was a security guard for a company owned by a man named Mr. Cato. And while other people came and went, he was the one constant. He was, you could say, the faithful steward.
And listen, he wasn't just punching a clock. This guy was the absolute definition of a model employee. He was never, ever late. He protected that company day and night, whether it was pouring rain or he was feeling sick. His entire career was built on these really simple but powerful qualities: honesty, respect, and just this unshakable loyalty.
So after 30 years of this incredible service, Samanda's journey was about to take a turn that was, well, dramatic and completely unexpected.
One morning, his boss, Mr. Cato, calls him into the office. It was time for him to retire. And Samanda felt what I think so many people feel at that exact moment. Yeah, happiness for the rest ahead, but also this deep, nagging worry. How on earth was he going to survive without a salary?
Then, during this small farewell party, Mr. Cato hands to Samanda an envelope, and inside was a truly life-changing amount of money, 200 million Ugandan shillings. Now, to put that into perspective, this was a fortune. Way more money than he could have ever dreamed of. The number was so overwhelming, tears just started filling his eyes.
But you know what? Even more important than the cash was the message that came with it. Mr. Cato's words right here, they showed this wasn't just a payment. It was a profound thank you, a real acknowledgement of a lifetime of service. And it came with this crucial piece of advice: use it wisely.
And that advice was absolutely key, because this incredible windfall, it wasn't the end of the story. No way. In fact, it was the start of a brand new chapter and a serious test of Semamanda's character.
This chart just perfectly illustrates the fork in the road that appears when fortune strikes, right? So many people who get a windfall like this take that foolish path. They splurge on luxuries, only to end up right back where they started. Samanda, however, he chose the wise path.
So what did that wise path actually look like? Let's take a look at the results of his careful planning, the harvest that grew from the seeds of his wisdom.
Instead of wasting the money, Samanda went back to his village and he invested it. He didn't buy flashy cars, he bought land. He didn't spend it all on himself, he built a future for his family. He started a farm, opened his shop for his wife, and started paying for his grandchildren's school fees. He even spread his good fortune around his community, helping out neighbors who were in need. So, a few months later, Mr. Cato comes to visit and he's just blown away. He sees this successful farm and a peaceful, thriving family. And his words here, they just confirm everything. Samanda hadn't just earned the reward through his work, he proved he deserved it by how he handled the blessing. He passed the test with flying colors.
So what can we all take away from this incredible story? Let's boil it all down to the core lessons, the big takeaways.
3 really clear principles pop out. First, his faithfulness at work brought a reward he literally never could have imagined. Second, his wise planning didn't just spend the money, it multiplied it into a secure future for everyone. And finally, his gratitude and humility were so clear in how he shared his blessing, which in the end just brought him more peace and success.
In the end, Samanda's own words really sum up his whole life's philosophy perfectly. It's such a simple formula, but as his story shows, its power is just undeniable.
And that really leaves us with one final question to think about. Samanda's story is all about planting these seeds of honesty and hard work for decades, and then wisely planting the seeds of his reward. So it's worth asking ourselves, right? In our own work and in our own lives, what seeds are we planting today for the harvest we're hoping for tomorrow?